What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful, delicious, smoky, homemade beef jerky. Coming up! Jerky! Everybody loves beef jerky. It's great for a hike or a hunting trip or something like that. It's also just a great snack to have around the house. But if you haven't noticed, beef jerky is incredibly expensive for what it is. You buy a pack at the store for $7 to $10 and you just get a small, measly handful of beef jerky. That's not even smoked. It's made with liquid smoke and honestly, it's really not that bad. But luckily, making your own beef jerky is incredibly easy, really affordable, and you can make it whatever flavor you like. Not to mention, you know exactly what went in it. So that being said, today we're gonna make our own beef jerky and it's going to be delicious. This is some beef. This is a beautiful bottom round roast. Any cut from the round will work really well. Eye of round, inside round, top or bottom round. Any of those tough, leaner cuts will work really well. And I must admit, this one's looking a little more marbled than I was expecting, but I don't think that'll be a problem. And you're probably asking yourself, Bradley, where did you get this beautiful, nicely trussed up, vac sealed, dry aged round roast? Well, this video is brought to you by Porter Road. Porter Road is a butcher shop based out of Nashville, Tennessee that specializes in high-end, humanely raised beef, pork, and chicken. And actually now they're doing charcuterie, which is very tasty, I might add. And all their beef is dry aged, which is why today I'm using a dry aged round roast. I believe this is a bottom round. And as you can see, it's nicely tied up, very well trimmed, because all of their butchery is hand cut, meaning you know it's gonna be high quality. There's never any flaps or anything hanging off of there. It looks a lot better than a lot of the boxed beef I get around here. Another reason I love Porter Road is because they have a lot of the different cuts that you're not gonna see at your local grocery store. You know, pig wings, marrow bones, that sort of stuff. As well as all the butcher cuts like hanger steaks and inside skirt steaks and all that kind of stuff. But probably the most convenient part about Porter Road is that they ship everything right to your door. And if you've never bought meat online before, I highly recommend it. It's super convenient. You can go on their website and choose all the exact cuts you want, and they'll ship them to you vac sealed and frozen so you can pop them right in your freezer for whenever you're ready to use them. And all orders over $100 ships for free. Also, a Porter Road gift card makes for a great gift. So if you're looking to get yourself some high quality meat, I mean, just look at the marbling on that. Nicely tied up, beautiful roast here. Click the link in the description of this video taking you to porterroad.com where you can earn 15% off your order using my link. Again, that's porterroad.com, link in the description of this video to stock your freezer up with some of the best domestic meat you can get. Thank you, Porter Road. So the first thing we need to do to make beef jerky is get this sliced up, but it's gonna be a lot easier to slice once it's frozen a little bit. That way we can get really thin strips out of it. So I'm gonna pop these in the freezer. While we wait for our meat to chill down, let's go ahead and get our marinade ready. Starting with 1 cup of soy sauce, 1 cup of Worcestershire sauce, tablespoon of paprika, tablespoon of granulated garlic, tablespoon of onion powder, tablespoon of black pepper, and then about a teaspoon of some red chili flakes for a little bit of heat, and then about a tablespoon of some honey. All the usual suspects in beef jerky making. So now, just gonna whisk that up, and our marinade is done. So when it comes to slicing your beef jerky, you got two options, with the grain or against the grain. And today, we're gonna do some of both and see which one's better. But first we need to remove these strings. Beautiful. And now we slice. Ooh. Thickness of the slice is completely up to you. Usually about 1/4 inch is what you're looking for, so that's looking pretty good to me. It's a little thinner than 1/4 inch, but I'm happy with that. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm gonna go through and take off this fat cap before we do anything else. And that's just because fat and beef jerky don't really go together all that well. A lot of people say that the fat can go rancid in the cooking process, the dehydrating process, but also it doesn't have that great of a mouthfeel. Always makes me sad removing a fat cap, but it's for the jerky. Beautiful. Back to slicing. That's what we're talking about, folks. Oh, beautiful pile of jerky. As for this other one, we're gonna cut it the other way. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Nice long strips. This meat smells so good. Smell that dry age coming through, and also just look how dark it is. Looking real nice. Because what doesn't sound delicious about dry aged beef jerky? Come on. And there we have it, all sliced up. Time to get it into the marinade. Boop. I'm gonna be putting these in individually just to make sure every single one gets a nice coating, because if I put it all in one big blob, there's a chance it might not make its way all the way into the middle. Oh, I'm excited. I haven't made beef jerky in a real long time. And that's kind of the fun part about jerky. You can go in whatever direction you want. If you want it to go, you know, extra garlicky or a teriyaki flavor or something like that, trying out different cuts of meat. Maybe next Thanksgiving we'll do a turkey jerky. It sounds pretty good. A little rosemary and sage in there, a little Thanksgiving vibe going on. on. And you don't really need all that much marinade for these. This is a real thin piece of meat, so as long as it's getting some coating on there, it doesn't have to be like submerged like a brine or anything like that. So this amount of marinade should be plenty. And I must say, I know I mentioned it already, but that has got to be the most marbled round I've ever seen. Freaking Porter Road sending me Wagyu over here. But I'm not worried about it, as long as it's not too fatty. I love these big strips. When I was a kid, there was a kid in my class whose dad made beef jerky all the time, and he would always bring it in these like big sheets. It was real tasty stuff. The butchery on that round is really gonna make for some nice beef jerky. How nice and squared off this is. But that being said, it is now all incorporated, as you can see here. Plenty of marinade still floating around, so I think we are in good shape. So into the fridge this goes overnight to marinate, and we'll check back in tomorrow. After about 18 hours or so, let's see how this beef jerky came out. Ooh. Ooh, that smells good. To make life a little bit easier transport-wise, I'm gonna put all these little strips on a wire rack. Try and get off all of that excess, and we're just gonna strip it on out. This is gonna help too, because I know it's already on a grate in the smoker, but this extra grate is just gonna allow for, you know, airflow to get on both sides, so we don't have to go around rotating it. Ooh, I like these big strips. I tell you what, smells like soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce. Shocker, I know. This is gonna take more rack space than I thought. I don't think I have enough racks for all this jerky, so some of it'll probably have to go on the grates, which is fine. It's just, you know, they might get a little dirty, a little sooty on the grates. Just a little extra flavor. Looking good so far. Already looking like jerky. Just a little bit of charcoal. All the jerky is on the pit, fired up. We're doing a cold smoke today. So I've just got a very small coal bed and a couple of really green, dense logs that are just kind of gonna smolder away, give us some nice smoke. Lower than 150 degrees for the next 2 to 4 hours, just to get some smoke flavor on them, begin the drying process, all that good stuff. So, we'll check back in a few hours. 4 hours later, this beef jerky has been cold smoking and it is looking good. Nice and leathery, a little bit dried out, got a nice smoky hue to it. But as you can see, it still needs a lot more drying. So next step, to the dehydrator. This is a dehydrator. And brand new. I just got this for Christmas from my sister, so everyone go say thank you, Becca, in the comments. And this is a pretty standard looking dehydrator. I use one much like this at Leroy & Lewis plenty of times. And it's a Nesco brand, much like my vacuum sealer. Simply enough. All these trays come apart and it's time to load it up. Ooh, heavy duty. Not much to it, folks. Just want to make sure nothing's overlapping or on top of each other, or touching too much. Ones that are slightly rounded, kind of follow the exterior edge a little bit, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure all this jerky fits on here. It's like a beef puzzle. Now there is an idea. Once it's full up, next one goes on top. And this should be a pretty quick dehydration period because it's already pretty dried out, nice and smoky. Beautiful. And you don't have to have a dehydrator for making jerky. There's plenty of recipes online that show you how to do this in your oven, or you could smoke it all the way through. But the dehydrator helps a lot. Be in complete control. And just like that, all of our jerky is in the dehydrator. Lid goes on top. On to the base we go. And then we plug it in. I'm gonna set this to 145 degrees, and we are just gonna keep an eye on it. I'll probably check in every few hours, give it a feel, give it a taste, and once it starts feeling like jerky, we'll pull it off. I'll tell you what, next up I'm gonna make jerky out of that damn snake in my boot. 7 hours later, this beef jerky is looking good. Let's take a look. Beautiful looking beef jerky. Let's get it out. Oh, it smells good. That soy coming through. And a lot of these have a little bit of red chili flake on them still, which is very nice. It's a good look. Quick note, if you do smoke your beef jerky, you probably want to keep this outside because this thing was just blowing out smoky air. I had it inside for a minute, stunk up the whole kitchen. So definitely want to keep it outside if you can, maybe in the garage. And there we have it, folks. A big, beautiful pile of beef jerky. And I must say, I'm pretty pleased with how this came out. Nice and dry, but not too dry. It's still got some bend to it and it tears right apart. That's what I'm looking for in beef jerky. A lot of times when people make beef jerky, they take it too far or cook it for too long, too high temperatures, and it gets crunchy and crispy. But that's what I'm looking for, those little shreds that come off like you find in the store. Oh, that was good. Very flavorful. Very smoky. I might go an hour less on the smoke next time. That's some good jerky right there. Nice and jerky-like. Nicely seasoned. I think next time I would up the sweetness a little bit, which is something I did not think I'd say, but traditional jerky's got a good amount of sweetness to it. I like these ones the best. These big, long strips. That's some good jerky right there. Let's find a smaller one, though. One of those other grain sections. See how this one came out. Oh, yeah. It's all good, no matter how you slice it. Either way, I mean, they're both fantastic. Personally, I like the big long ones. And as always, you can take some scissors and cut these up into little bite-sized pieces and get it more like the store-bought stuff. But as far as thickness goes, I think that's the perfect thickness for jerky. You're able to pick it up and take a bite, but it's not too chewy. Some solid jerky right there. And all of that made out of 2 muscles that are the cheapest ones in the case. Can't go wrong. I mean, this is at least like $60 or $70 worth of store-bought jerky. And that's the fun part about doing a big batch like this. You could smoke some for longer or dehydrate some for longer, get some different textures, really play around and figure out what you like the best. But for me, this is perfect. You know, the fat content was no problem at all. And if you ever botch a whole batch, you just made yourself some really great dog treats. Speaking of which, I think it's time for the official taste test. Talk about a good gift. Big old bag of jerky. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make your very own beef jerky from scratch at home. I highly recommend giving this one a try. It's fun for the whole family. And if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by hitting that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow, and I do appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see me cook next, or if you think I should start making more jerky videos. If you do give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.